How's it going, rednecks? Hopefully this is a pretty short video because all I'm looking to do is to eliminate this hose right here. And what that hose is it is the relief for the heads. There is a pipe right here called the steam pipe that allows any air trapped in the heads to flow through it. And then that pipe goes from there to your throttle body, and then from your throttle body, you follow this hose up, around, and down, it goes into the radiator. And what I'm looking to do is eliminate this section right here. And how I'm going to achieve that is I'm going to run the hose from here, and I'm going to go into the back of the water pump, and then from the water pump, air will be able to get through the upper radiator hose. And the only reason I'm doing this is to kind of button this area up. I ultimately want to remove this tank, but we're going to start right here with the easy stuff since I already have the coolant all drained and the water pump isn't even bolted on yet. And all that's going to be needed for this is a 25/64 drill bit, a 1/4 inch by 18 MPT tap, and then a 1/4 MPT with a 1/4 inch barb fitting on the end. So like I said, ultimately I want to remove this. That's going to be in another video. I already have everything to do that. So if that video is not about this, let's get to work on this. Let's get that water pump pulled and I'll show you where we're going to be drilling. Alright, with the water pump out, let's take our fitting and I'll show you what I have in mind. Right here I put a little dot, and that's where I kind of want to put my fitting. It will be behind the intake, kind of hidden, and it'll provide the least amount of angle for my hose because the fitting's going to be over here, so it should be a pretty straight shoot. Now I have seen people drill and tap here, I've seen people drill and tap here, and I've heard you can go anywhere along here because this all comes out the same pipe. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this to allow the air to escape to the radiator. So what do you say I grab my drill and tap? We drill and tap this, and I guess I might want to mention that the reason we're doing this off the vehicle is because shavings can get in there, and this is a closed-looped system where there is no filter, no way for the shavings to get out. So you're going to be running them shavings through. So when you get done drilling and tapping this, you want to make sure you got all of them, and the only way to properly do that is to pull the water pump. So yeah, what do you say we drill, tap, and get this thing mounted? Well, rednecks, a few things had to happen there. As you've seen, my drill bit kept walking, so I used a file to create a flat spot. I also had to up my drill bit size. I ended up going up to 13/32, as well as I want to address when you're running your tap in that you make sure you keep test fitting your piece here, because it is a tapered fitting or a tapered thread. So the longer you go or the deeper you insert the taper bit, the deeper this is going to go. And the tapers might not be the same. The taper on this might be a little less than the one on your tap. So right now I am only tapped for about 1 thread. So I'm going to run my tap down into this thing deeper and keep checking it with this until I get this at the proper height. And then we can install this thing. Well, there we go. I have this thing tapped, and I have about 5 to 6 threads tapped into it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it all vacuumed out, clean up the gasket surfaces, and then I'm going to put Blue Monster Teflon tape on the threads of my fitting here. And obviously this is brass. You don't really, or people suggest not even doing that, or you don't really need it, but I'm going to do it in this case. I pretty much put that stuff on any thread or pipe threading that I do. So what do you say we get that thing cleaned up? My gaskets aren't here yet, so I'm gonna just put it on the truck, and then we'll finish up plumbing in the hoses, and you'll see what this thing looks like. With the water pump mounted, I'm going to take the old hose that used to go from the throttle body to the radiator, and I'm going to cut it to length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run from the steam pipe right to the water pump, and I'm going to bypass the throttle body altogether. So I'm going to get a measurement of that. We'll cut it out of this, get it mounted, and we'll be done. Well, I gotta admit, it's hard to set you guys up on a good angle to see that because it is tucked in there. And going from the steam pipe, here, I'll see if I can't get you guys in there, but going from the steam pipe to my fitting here, it worked out pretty good to be on the angle that I'm on. If you were going from this thing right here, that's the one coming out of the throttle body, and going to there, I think you would want to actually drill near the top here, instead of on the angle there. That way you'd have a straighter shot. If you take a look, that's that line right there. So going from that port right there to down there would be better straight up and down, but going from over there to right there, it worked pretty good. Last but not least, with the water pump all buttoned up and the hose all done, we need to plug the radiator, and that's where the line used to go in at. And what I did is I bought this kit right here on Amazon, and we need this 1/4-inch plug, which looks like that right there, and a hose clamp. So what do you say we take these two, plug that hole, and we'll be done. So all that's left for me to do is to put the water pump gaskets in. They're not here yet. Don't need those to really show the finishing of this job, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back to work. With the water pump mounted, I'm going to take the old steam pipe right here that used to go from the intake to the radiator, and I'm going to cut it to length, and I'm going to actually skip the Asafugi Amakaga. Is the throttle body. With the water pump mounted, I'm actually going to take the, I can't be looking, right into the water pump, and that way I can obviously, I don't even care to explain it, just do it. With the water pump mounted, I'm going to take the old steam pipe that used to go, okay. With the water pump mounted, I'm going to go from the, take 87. With the water pump mounted, that couldn't happen again if I wanted it to. Take 92.